I know what you're wondering. Why are we at PowerDrift talking about the Lexus LX today on our channel? The SUV was showcased to the globe last year, and just like you, even I'm waiting for Lexus to confirm an affirmative date on when it will be brought to India. But that is the news. It is coming to India this very year. So I thought it would be a great time to chat with you SUV enthusiasts, which is basically the rest of the world except us at PowerDrift, because we are just cool, we love our supercars, hot hatches and sedans, and the fact that 60% of our office drives SUVs. In other words, this is what you can expect when Lexus introduces their take on the world's most capable SUV. Welcome to PowerDrift. Alright, now first things first, the LX, it sits on an all-new platform which is lighter and stiffer, which means that this now drives better than what it used to. Still no running away from the fact that it is a large boxy SUV. They've also made a few styling tweaks on the outside, and Lexus is now offering 22-inch wheels, which is the biggest that they've ever offered on their vehicles. Along with that, they've retained the dimensions of the rest of the vehicle, but I can't say similar stuff about the grille, because it's like you pay Lexus for the grille and they're kind enough to give you an SUV along with that. It also gets new headlamps, new tail lamps, new body panels, and I'm sure you've formed an opinion about how it looks, so I'm going to skip to the good part. Alright, now here's a fun fact about the Lexus LX. It still retains its wheelbase since the day it was first showcased in 1995, and that is commendable. It's like the engineers, they gave us a big ass car and forgot about it, and it is still one of the biggest SUVs that money can buy you today. So we've established that the Lexus LX is a big SUV, but does it have enough substance to power all that size? Now before I tell you what powers the Lexus LX, let me draw your attention to the fact that I used to think Lexus and hybrid used to go hand in hand, but that's not the case with the LX. And it's not that the previous LX used to get hybrid technology, but the fact that Toyota has introduced hybrid tech with Tundra that also has a similar engine that powers the LX, which got us auto enthusiasts wondering if they will be introducing that technology, but they haven't. Similarly, unlike its step sibling the Land Cruiser, this Lexus, it doesn't get a diesel option yet. Now Lexus tells us that they are working on a powertrain option that will feature the hybrid technology on a global market, and also that some markets, including India, will be benefiting from a diesel engine as well. So what powers the Lexus LX? Well, I have to shed a tear for this, because they are cruel enough to take that beautiful V8 out of the engine bay and fit in a 3.5 litre twin turbocharged V6 petrol engine, and that is the only engine that you can have the LX with. But before you scream and boo about it being a V6, let me tell you that this new engine is a lot more powerful and torquey as well. So it has 409 horsepower and 650 Newton meters of muck-slithering torque. That is all possible thanks to two turbos that love to inhale. Isn't that right? And all of that power is sent to the wheels via a 10-speed automatic transmission that wears a oil pan cover on its belly for extra protection, just in case you wish to take your LX off-roading. Now what it also gets is an active height management suspension system, which can automatically or manually adjust the height of the Lexus LX. In addition to this, it also gets a few electronically controlled off-road modes. It also ditches a hydraulic steering setup for the very first time and introduces an electronically assisted steering system, which basically means that your driver does not have to hit the gym before he drives you around, and that the LX is now a much more friendly car to drive in the city. Also, what it does is reduces the kickback that you get on the steering wheel, which in other terms means that you will now be getting less steering feedback. Rejoice, because it is also the very first time that Lexus has experimented with two screens for the dashboard. So on the top you have a 12.3-inch screen that works as your normal infotainment system, but below that is a 7-inch system that gives you all the details about your off-roading modes and what's happening with the vehicle while you are tackling various surfaces. Where it also helps is that you can pull up the camera feed while you're off-roading on the bigger screen and have your vital stats on the screen below that, which ultimately means that you don't have to toggle between screens and you can off-road a lot more better. Now we all know that the Toyota Land Cruiser can pretty much do what the LX can with lesser gadgets. So what makes the LX the LX? And I think you know the answer. It's the luxury quotient. And in fact, they even have a trim that's called Ultra Luxury, which basically introduces 4 seats in an SUV this big. And I really hope that this trim is introduced in India. In this trim, with a few adjustments, you can liberate up to 1100 millimeters of space for the rear occupants. That is colossal. 1100. Leg space, bro. बहुत है. You're also treated to a seat with curved headrests and curved base and materials that can absorb vibrations. It's very well engineered to keep you in utmost comfort throughout the drive. So we've established that the Lexus LX in its latest avatar is luxurious. It remains to be that big, bulky, boxy, imposing SUV that we love it for. It's a lot more capable off-road and on-road than it used to be. Now you must be wondering, what is it going to be priced at, right? Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that question right away, but I do have an advice. When the LX is introduced in India, I suggest that you leave everything aside and pounce on one. Because have you ever heard about the waiting period on one of those? It's eternity. That is why.